Alright, what's up guys? So this video I'm gonna make is gonna be a tutorial of how to perform the RDL, also called the Romanian deadlift. I do see so many people perform it because it's such a good exercise, but I see a lot of people teach it wrong. They do it wrong, and the people that do the tutorial, they teach it wrong. And one of the reasons that sometimes I say they teach it wrong is because when they perform it, it just looks off. But another thing is they show the person how to perform the movement with like super lightweight, with like 10 pounds on each side. And anybody could do perfect form with 10 pounds. But I wanna show you guys how, I'm gonna show you guys examples of me doing it very heavy, and I want you to see how my body reacts to the heavy weight, because sometimes your form might break down just a little bit during the movement because it gets heavier weight. So I'm gonna show you guys the perfect way of how to perform it and how it looks during heavy lifting. To start off, I'm gonna say the difference between the stiff leg deadlift and the Romanian deadlift that I'm gonna show you guys today. The main difference that I like to compare those is the Romanian deadlift, you have to engage your hamstrings way more than anything else. The main thing is your hamstrings. So what you do is, here's the barbell. You grab it, you grab the barbell, and you start going down. And as you start going down, you're using your hamstring is stretching. And once it's down, almost like it doesn't even have to touch the weight, doesn't have to touch the floor if your flexibility doesn't allow you to. As long as you feel the stretch in your hamstring, right here, that's where I feel it, then you come back up with your hamstring. You literally, the whole movement, think about your hamstring, the back of your leg right here. You're coming down, you're feeling this part, and once you feel a good stretch, come back up with the hamstring. That's the Romanian deadlift. The stiff leg deadlift, it's more like, what I like to think about is, it's more like you use your back, you keep your legs straight, but you pull with your back. So you're here and you use your back a lot. You pull on your back. And you could reset, but you could let the weight fall and then just pull off the ground. The purpose of the Romanian deadlift is you don't have to let it hit the floor. That's not the point of the Romanian deadlift. You should feel the tension at all times in your hamstring. But I'm gonna show you guys how I perform it, and because I've been doing it for so long that my flexibility in my hamstring is way better than most people, that my hamstring stretches long, that the weight actually ends up hitting the floor just slightly. Right at the end, it hits the floor, but right when it touches the floor, I come back up. But sometimes when you have one way that you could make yourself feel a better stretch if you have good flexibility in your hamstring is getting weights that are smaller. Right now I'm using the 45-pound plates. So they're bigger, so it doesn't allow me to go as low because it hits the ground. If you use smaller plates, you get a bigger stretch. But you have to remember, only if your flexibility allows it to. Sadly, right now at the home gym, I don't have smaller weights. So I have to use 45, so it restricts my motion, but at the same time, I still try to focus on the hamstring. Load the hamstring at all times. Yes, you're using your back, but it's more just stationary. It's just holding the weight, but the whole time that you're going down, you're controlling it with your hamstring. Okay? So let's perform it. I would prefer you guys to use a flat shoe. If you could be barefoot, do it barefoot. Okay, that way, because if you think about it, this has a lot of cushion. So when you're controlling the weight down, there's a lot of movement with this cushion. So you don't want your feet to go like this. If you could be barefoot, your foot is just flat, grounded on the floor, and you'll be able to control it a little bit better. One thing is, your back always has to be arched like this. Look, it's arched right here. This is how my back is just perfectly upright, okay? There's a little arch here, okay? The whole time during the movement, you should want this little arch. Never go low enough where your back starts doing this, which that's what a lot of people do when they do it wrong, when they're at the bottom, they try to go down and they're like this. They go all the way down and they go like this and they go like this and they round their back. That's where people get hurt, okay? So you have to stretch your hamstrings, find ways to Google stretching your exercises to stretch your hamstrings. But once you have some type of good flexibility, this is what the movement should look like. Okay, so you come down, stretch, as you're bending down to grab the bar, you should try to stretch these hamstrings right here. So keep going down, stretch your hamstrings while having your back arched right here. Okay, look at this back, how it's arched. If I reach down, you could sometimes round like this. You could reach down to grab the bar and round like this, but when you're about to start the movement, you should keep your back neutral. Keep the little arch. So I'm gonna show you guys. You guys could reach down like this. This is perfectly fine. But before you're gonna start, you should, look, stretch your hamstring, arch your back, and right there, pull with your hamstring. And then from here, I'm gonna go down, 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 and I'm controlling it. I'm using my hamstrings, only my hamstrings. If the weight doesn't touch the floor, then I come back with my hamstrings. I come down, 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 down. My back is arched. It's all hamstrings, hamstrings, hamstrings. The weight doesn't touch. If the weight ends up touching the floor a little bit, that's fine. Come back up. But if it doesn't touch, don't feel forced that you have to touch the floor. So it's down, 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 down. You touch the floor a little bit, that's fine. So it doesn't always touch the floor depending on your flexibility. Let me tell you some of the benefits of the Romanian deadlift and why I perform it over sumo deadlifts, over regular deadlifts, okay? So yes, it's good to do sumo deadlifts, it's good to do regular deadlifts, but RDL, the Romanian deadlift, you will get the same benefits as those movements. One of the reasons that I do RDLs instead of the sumo deadlifts or the deadlifts most of the time is because the Romanian deadlift, you're gonna target the hamstrings way more than the regular deadlift or the sumo deadlift. So it's more of the hamstrings targeted, if that's even a word. But the sumo deadlift, I feel like the sumo deadlift and the regular deadlift, it targets more of your back. And I prefer doing pull-ups, rows for my back. But when I do a RDL or a sumo deadlift or regular deadlift, I prefer doing the RDL to target more of the hamstrings, since I feel like the hamstrings is something harder to develop. And so if I must waste some time doing something, I want to get more bang for my buck. So I get all the benefits from the sumo deadlift and the deadlift doing the Romanian deadlift, but at the same time I get more hamstring work. When you perform the stiff leg deadlift, the sumo deadlift, or the regular deadlift, you're gonna do way more weight. Me, when I sumo deadlift or regular deadlift, I could do 500 pounds for reps of 7, 6. So I'm doing 500 pounds for a lot of reps in the regular deadlift. But when it comes to the Romanian deadlift, it's way less weight because I'm almost trying to just let my hamstring do all the work. So I'm trying to not put in my back too much, not put my arms, nothing, just my hamstrings. So my hamstrings they could only handle so much weight, so you're not gonna be able to push a lot of weight. But that's the whole point. I'm trying to target my hamstrings. One other thing that I like to do with my Romanian deadlift is my grip. A lot of people could do hook grip, just overhand grip, just grab the bar regularly, or they do mixed grip, one arm like this, one arm like this. And like doing the mixed grip or doing the hook grip, you could grip it and you could do a lot of weight, but I choose to do the regular grip. Regular grip is harder because your grip starts giving up. You're like grabbing the bar, and actually during the whole Romanian deadlift movement that I do, the thing that's giving up the most is my grip. Almost my limited factor of me doing more weight is my grip. But I don't care. It's more like I'm training my hamstrings and I'm training my grip, because I think the grip is so important to train. I think when it comes to stands, just get a normal stance where you feel that your hamstrings are being engaged. So you don't have to be You don't have to be too close like this. Don't be too wide. Just find a stance. Usually the stance that people like to do is just pretend you're about to jump. Pretend that you're about to jump into a box, whatever that stance is. So you're not gonna hop into a box with your legs like this. And you're not gonna hop on the box with your legs like this. Usually you're like, okay, right here is I'm about to hop into a box. So whatever that stance is to hop into a box, that's the stance where you're gonna do your RDL. But it all depends on the person, where you feel that your hamstrings are being activated the most. Usually they have to be a little bit more like shoulder width apart so you could really feel all the hamstrings engaged. That's it for the video, guys. Hope that you guys kind of got exactly the little tips and those are the main important things that I think for the RDL that you really have to think about before you perform it. If you guys like the instructional video, please press like. If you really found this useful, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.